So I used to get paid to do stand-up comedy, but then this happened, and I'm just gonna share with y'all a brutally honest video about what happened when I was trying to become a big time comedian. Okay, so yeah, growing up, I always loved to talk. And by the way, welcome to the channel, Stats from Scratch. Somebody commented that I needed to say the name of the video, but I don't know. I've been feeling like that's just been a big waste of time when I'm jumping on here ready to spill my guts out to my gritty girl gang and let y'all know what's on my mind. So I felt like if I take out that little snippet sometime, it wouldn't hurt so bad. But everybody here already know, baby, where you are and who you with. This is Stacks from Scratch, and I am Mrs. Latoya Slater. And you already know, if you've been here before, you can just call me Toya. So yeah, I wanted to share this story with you because it's kind of like a lesson learned, like to know when to step back or to throw in the towel, so to speak. Or did I just prematurely pull out? I don't know, but whatever it is, I'm getting ready to tell you how it started and how it ended. So I just self-titled myself a comedian. I didn't go to school for comedy. I didn't get a certificate or a degree in comedy, but I did almost get a degree to be on stage. So I studied a lot of oral communication, and plus I've been on stage since I was about 6 years old. My mom would always take me to different places to perform and do speeches and welcomes, for big companies ever since I was a little girl, ever since I can remember. So I decided to try my hand at comedy. It was right after I got released from prison. Of course, I spent 10 years in the women's penitentiary. I did 7 in the prison and 3 on parole. And when I came home, I started doing motivational speaking. I was able to reach out to the critically at risk youth, being able to tell my story and, kind of warn them not to do what I did and end up where I ended up. Don't be in the situation I was in. But every time I would get on stage, I always found myself wanting to make them laugh. And I had several different shows that I could do, different poems that I could do, different ways that I could entertain when I got on stage. But I had never tried my hand at comedy, and it's something that I love. I grew up loving. I'm always following and studying comedy, and I even went so far as to, when I got home from prison, I put together a comedy troupe and volunteered this comedy troupe at the penitentiary where I was. Literally wrote the prison, got in touch with the board, went to several different meetings, me and one of my cousins who was my manager at the time, and set up we got entrance, we got clearance to come back into the prison and do a show. So we did it about 3 years in a row, where we would have some of the greatest comedians in Memphis to really, and just to let you know a little secret, I was reaching out to some celebrity comedians, and I didn't have many that turned me down. Ali Sadiq, imagine that, responded saying he would love to come out and perform for the prisoners, which now the prison that I went back to, it used to be the women's prison. But when I got back with the troop, I found out that the women were gone, and this was just an all-male jail now. So I had, what's his name? Reginald Ballard. I communicated with him about performing with us. But all these people was willing to come, but COVID hit, and that stopped the troops. Period. We didn't do it anymore after that. So I wasn't the one on stage telling the jokes at these comedy events at the prison. I was the one introducing them. I just kind of put the events together. But even while I was introducing them, I found myself telling them jokes, during my little time in front of them. And it was funny, and it was fun and so rewarding for me. So I said, you know what? I'm going to put myself out there. And I told a lady that I knew who was looking for a comedian to perform, excuse me, at a convention. It was the Cocaine Anonymous Awareness Convention for people that's been clean for years and years. And I had to reach out and let her know that I'm available. I would like to do it. They paid me a nice amount to come out, and just so happened my first time doing stand-up comedy was about 3 days after my brother was murdered. And my brother was like the world to me. This was so hard for me to do, but you know how the universe works. When one something great is happening, something equal and opposite has to happen too. It's just like winning the award of the year and your grandmother passed away and you on stage accepting this award in her honor. Things like this is how the universe works. So I wanted to not go. I wanted to give up, but I had already been paid. I already knew my material. Everything was already set, and my husband was encouraging me and supporting me. So I decided to go ahead and get out there and just not think about it when I got on stage. And when I got there, I wasn't the first comedian to go on, but I wasn't the last. I wish I was next to last. But I learned that the last comedian is really the best. It's the headliner, okay? But when I got up there, I mean, I don't know who I became. I just was not myself. I wasn't there. And I rocked the show. I rocked the house, and I did so well. Every punchline hit, every joke hit, everybody laughing. The whole room was in stitch. Even my husband, it's hard to make him laugh, and he was laughing. And I just felt like, okay, this is it. I'm the new Miss, the female Kevin Hart out here. I'm finna get this paper. So I'm glowing. And even the last comedian that went up pulled me to the side after the show, and he was like, "Oh my God, you are all that." You came up here and rocked it. So, honey, I had my peacock feathers spread, thinking this is my niche, this is my thing, and I love me some jokes. And so I would go home, I would start writing some more shows. I had put this show together with millions of jokes. It took me so long. I didn't have Chat GPT back then, okay, and I sat down and I worked this script and I wrote it and I twerked it and tweaked it to the way I thought I could perform it best. And then I got hired at another event. This event was at a lot smaller club, and the second time I got on stage, I don't know why. I decided to try to dress differently. I had on some really tall stilettos. They was probably about 5-inch heels. I wasn't very comfortable in what I was wearing. My mama was with me. Another thing, and I love my mama. I love her support. She always ready to cheerlead for me, and she was in the audience. But I still did my thing. But it wasn't as good as the first time. I didn't get the laughs, and I did hit some flat notes. I told some jokes, and nobody laughed a couple times on my second appearance on stage doing comedy. And I gotta just take a breath and just compliment any comedian that's been on stage more than once. I take my hat off to you. You gotta have some strong bones to get on stage and try to make people laugh. Okay, this is not an easy task, and even in a script where you're doing like a stage play, that's not easy either. But it's easier because you have more people. You don't have to fill up so much of the stage. And even with me trying to do a one woman show one time, I had to take up a lot of room on that stage. And comedy is just like that. So you need to be ready to strap your belt tight, get out there, and don't let nothing scare you. So here it comes. This is why I quit. The second time I got paid nicely to do this performance at this small club. And of course, it didn't go as I planned, and some of my jokes didn't land, and I felt like I needed to rewrite a lot of my stuff, and I went home and did that. And then I put myself out there on this website called Gig Salad. If you've never heard of Gig Salad, you can look them up, but they not really all that. They didn't give me many bookings, and it seems to me like if you don't get the paid versions, you don't get the bookings. The only way I got this booking off Gig Salad because the lady was willing to call me personally, and I gave her my number. She called me and booked me to come far away, somewhere in Mississippi, deep down. And I did this for a little bit of money. It wasn't even a lot. I don't even think it was $300, but I went. I was so nervous. I don't know why, because I love the stage. I love the spotlight. And my husband took me there. We was looking nice, and I don't know what it was. It was something in me that just wasn't feeling this, and quite frankly, didn't feel like I belonged there. And it was in fact, it was a catfish restaurant. But she had a little side, with the stage and a little DJ booth over there, and the DJ was over there. So this what threw it off. At first, I was feeling okay about doing it, but when we got there, the girl who introduced me Messed my introduction all up. Okay, she didn't get my name right. She couldn't read. She said she chopped everything up. My credibility wasn't heard. None of that, and that really pissed me off. But because I'm used to perfection in the theater, on stage, anywhere, any speaker wants to be introduced correctly. Okay, so even if you ever have the task of introducing somebody or bringing somebody out, pay attention to what you're doing. Give it a little more concern. You don't want to bring them up on a flat note because that can destroy the whole set. And that's what happened to me. I'm not going to blame her, but I will give her a little bit of this credit, okay, for messing up my life, for messing up my comedy career, okay? So when she called me up, she messed everything up, got my name wrong, got everything wrong about me. So when I got on the mic, the first thing I tried to do was reintroduce myself. They weren't feeling me, and it was a room full of women, very spot here for men. And this was my first time getting ready to do some dirty comedy. Okay, this was my first script that I wrote with a whole lot of cussing and P words and D words, and just gonna try my hand at this for the first time. And I get in there, the lady told me this don't have to be clean comedy, but when I get in there, it's a room full of ladies and children, women with their little kids, and I really felt stupid and sour. I could not perform some of these jokes. I guess I got a conscience. You can't have a conscience when you out there about the money or you out there about your fame. You gotta just ignore the conscience, ignore the ego. But I couldn't do it. I could not tell these jokes in front of these little kids and little girls running around this restaurant watching me and listening to me. So I cut my jokes off early. I walked off stage, went in the bathroom to try to woosah because I was under a lot of stress right then. And my husband came into the bathroom. He's like, "You gotta go back out there. You didn't finish. You've been paid to do an hour. You was only up there like 25 minutes." I'm like, I don't care. I give them their money back. Right about now, the people not listening to me. They not feeling me. They talking while I'm talking. I'm about to go off. And that was my last time doing comedy. I ended up going back out. And instead of doing jokes, I think I did some poetry or some spoken word because I just could not do the jokes that I had prepared in front of these kids. So that was my last time. I felt like I bombed. I feel like I let them down. I feel like I was let down in a lot of ways. Like I couldn't depend on the advertisement that was given to me, and it took all the confidence I had in the world to even get up there in front of them, and I just blew it. And that was my last time. So I don't know if I stopped too early. I don't know. What do you think? Should I have tried to get rich doing comedy? Or did I do right to just leave it alone? Because trust me, when you get on stage as an artist, you're dealing with affairs of the heart, honey. You are dealing with the heart. And like Erica said, we are sensitive about our thank you. You said it for me. So next time you get an opportunity and you feeling like this could be the chance for you to become somebody else, become who you meant to be, take your time. Don't pull out, don't jump out because of your confidence. Find a way to build that up. Because tell you the truth, sometimes I really think I could get back out there maybe at least once or twice and make some people laugh, make some people smile. So that's my story. I just wanted to share that with y'all today. Thanks for joining me. And if you enjoyed this story, I want you to check out my next video, and I'll see you over there.